We're going to talk about the General Data Protection Regulation, also known as the GDPR, and more specifically, what is expected of you as a freelance translator or interpreter. The GDPR will apply from the 25th of May 2018. The GDPR applies to the processing of personal data, whether or not by automated means, which form a part of or are intended to form a part of a filing system. Personal data means any information relating to an identified or identifiable natural person, also called the data subject. Special, more stringent rules apply to so-called special categories, also called sensitive personal data. The basic principles of data processing are the following. Data processing must be lawful, fair and transparent. It must be for a legitimate purpose, and you may not process more data than necessary to achieve this purpose. The data you process must be accurate and kept up to date. You may not store data for longer than necessary. Data must be processed in a secure way, including protection against loss and theft. Data processing must have a lawful basis. For instance, it must be based on the data subject's consent. It must be necessary for the performance of a contract. It must be necessary for compliance with a legal obligation, and so on. If the lawful basis is consent, this consent should be clear, informed, and easy to withdraw by the data subject at any time. Data subjects are entitled to transparency. Therefore, when collecting data, you should issue the data subject with a transparency statement. This statement should mention details of the personal data you process, as well as of the data subject's rights in this respect. Data subjects have the right to access their own data, and to have any incorrect data rectified. Data subjects have the right to be forgotten and the right for their data to be transmitted to another controller. Both the controller, who is the person determining the processing purposes and the means, and the processor, who is the person actually processing the personal data, must keep records of their processing activities. These records must state the controller's and the processor's identity, as well as the purpose of the data processing and the suitable safeguards that have been put in place in order to protect the personal data from loss and theft. The controller and the processor must enter into an agreement in which they ensure protection of the data subject's personal data. The controller must give the processor instructions, which the processor must follow. So in practice, what does this mean for your business? We advise you to screen your existing files and delete anything you no longer need for the purposes of your business. You must inform your clients of their rights at any moment you collect their personal data. You must also implement appropriate measures to ensure safe and secure data processing. When cooperating with other professionals, you must enter into a written agreement, whether in the capacity of controller or processor. The same goes for your relationships with your accountant, IT professional, and so on. You must keep records of all your processing activities. Should you be confronted with a data breach, you must notify the authorities and the data subject as soon as you can, unless you can call upon one of the exemptions. Got it? Templates will be made available to help you comply with the GDPR. For more information and templates for freelance translators and interpreters, you are welcome to visit www.translators.be/GDPR. You can also find more information if you follow these links. This video was created by the Belgian Chamber of Translators and Interpreters, with the support of our legal counsel, Karim Rubrook, and our member, freelance translator, asbl-vzw.